So I'm Kirk Woolford. I have only been at the University of Surrey for about a year and a half now. I was hired to come set up a digital media arts program. But I have been kicking around games and television industries for nearly 20 years now. Worked with Sony BBC 2 on developing a VRML, if you remember that, live environment for live broadcasts with BBC 2's Net program. I've also paid my dues working some incredibly exciting jobs as a game designer for pony riding games for girls and designing back-end test systems for Stalker together with Babel Media. For my sins, I've been back in academia for about 10 years now. The title of this presentation that John and I are giving, we're talking about next generation motion capture. That comes up over and over again. I just wanted to ask, what generation of motion capture are we at right now? This is a system I started working with in 1996, which was a Polhemus electromagnetic system. And I've been involved in building ultrasonic tracking systems. Again, this is an ultrasonic system built in 1994. This is another ultrasonic system we rebuilt in 2010 together with Anna Mizzou. And we've been working on different types of hybridized motion capture for various reasons. Here at the University of Surrey, as part of the Digital Media Arts program, we've just set up what we believe is, well, it's definitely the very first organic motion stage 2. There was a stage 1 before this. I believe it's only the second one that's ever been set up. And we're using it for our teaching. You can see it is an immature technology. It's perfect for teaching, working with our students. It's not fit for production. I'm sure organic motion would be very unhappy to hear me say that, but I'd be very happy to talk with people about this technology. But part of the challenge of the fact that it's not really ready for full production is that it's perfect for experimentation and exploration. And that's what we do in the digital arts, is look at where can we push new boundaries? What can we do? How can we break things? How can we take them in directions they weren't originally intended? I've been running a number of research projects looking at how we can take motion capture out of the studio and look at different ways of working with motion capture in the real world. One of the reasons we've been doing some of this work is the amount that motion capture costs have dropped. So this is an IGS 190 that I bought in 2010. It was $60,000 at the time, or 40,000 plus 40,000 pounds plus VAT. Today you can get Kickstart versions of this for under 1,000 pounds, and they're generally fairly close in accuracy. This is full motion capture suite that we developed. We're using for a number of research projects. So we've just got inertial system which a person's wearing, being transmitted to a laptop, and a camera for giving us position on the site itself. By having such a portable system, we had lots of things which were open up to us. So one of the things which we managed to do was a pilot together with BBC cross-platform and BBC 2 for Strictly Come Dancing. Trying to get hold of the talent during the broadcasting is a nightmare. We would have people released to us. We had them for 1 hour, but it would take 20 minutes to get halfway across a television house at the time. So having a system which we could quickly set up, run a capture, and move on allowed us to do things which just couldn't have been done within the BBC. We were looking at going back to these notions of VRML of inhabited television to be able to actually broadcast into mobile phones and mobile applications. This project never saw the light of day because of licensing issues between Apple and BBC, but I'd be very happy to talk about it individually with people. But to give more of an illustration as to why we think it's so important to be able to capture on site and in the real world, this is another project we did together with University of Sussex, Portsmouth, and Sussex Police, looking at forensic psychology. So basically, we built the whole virtual environment in Unity 3D we took a group of students and a group of repeat offenders, and we wanted to see how people moved through the house. Basically, we wanted to see what drew people's attention, and is there a difference between what a repeat offender would do versus what a student would do. We were rather shocked. After we'd gone through and built this whole model, we took both the students and the offenders to the actual house it was modeled on and said, okay, do your thing. And the repeat offenders went into windows. So they completely ignored our model. But the fact that we were able to capture them moving around in an actual house told us that actually these windows were far more inviting, and be happy to talk about some of the findings from that project. But we've been doing lots of other projects. So this is a piece that I personally built for 2 festivals in Brighton. I was based at Sussex at the time. So this is a capture system for Brighton White Nights and Brighton Digital Festival. So this dancer is wearing a motion capture suit, and we're recording her movements in the middle of crowds in the middle of the city. The idea behind this was that I was using augmented reality tools to be able to track off actual textures of 3D objects in space. So instead of tracking off fiduciary markers, we found different ways of tracking off buildings and tracking off different locations. So this is actually tracking off of the walls, the bricks in the walls. And there's a demo of this running outside. You can download this app. The app is still available. And you can go take a tour around Brighton and recreate these different performances at different locations. I was commissioned to make a custom custom version of this for New York University's new campus at Abu Dhabi, and had a Finnish dancer come down and discovered a very unexpected issue, that it is illegal for a woman to dance in public in the UAE. And it is illegal for us to show this work because of modesty laws. So one of the things that we're doing, again, the whole point of NYU setting up a campus in Abu Dhabi is to try to create a window into the rest of the world. So we have taken those challenges and we've thought, okay, can we use different gaming tools to create virtual dancers who won't offend the sensibilities, because it won't be a human figure dancing, but it also won't be a woman dancing. So we've been capturing sound in the desert, but also movement and dancers in the desert. I think this counts as an extreme capture environment. But we've been managing to get someplace with the Anmazu kit, the old systems. Now we're starting to look at a new generation of technology. So this is a Capture studio. So basically this is just 8 cameras. These are Canon 6Ds set on tripods. So the cameras aren't synchronized at all. And it works relatively well in the studio, but we've been testing, or I've been testing, using them outdoors. And I'd be very happy to talk with people about what is working, what isn't working, some of the challenges and issues that we're finding with that. But going back to that notion of of how do we create a virtual dancer without actually showing the human being. This is one of my older pieces, looking at working with motion capture data, using motion capture data to drive a particle system. And again, trying to come up with something which you recognize as human through its movement, but not through its individual imagery. So this was all hand-coded in Objective-C, believe it or not. It's very painful. I'm in the process now of taking a lot of this and porting this over to the Unreal Engine and working with a GPU particles and vector fields to try to recreate something like this. But that's not ready to be shown in public yet. Again, be happy to test that and talk with various people about how to do that. Anyhow, summing up, like I said, I was hired and joined the University of Surrey to set up a digital media arts program. It seemed completely absurd to me to build a digital media arts program in Guildford without reaching out to the games community, without trying to say, how should we be doing this? You're the guys who know what skills you want from undergraduate students. How can you be involved with us? So we are, at the university, we're very specifically looking for industrial research partners, people to test the kind of tools which John were just showing, and things that Adrian are building, to test some of the tools which we're not so much building, but we are trying but we're also looking for people who might possibly be able to host some of our undergraduates on placements. But we're also desperately looking for people who'd like to come up and meet some of the students and teach workshops with us, a one-day workshop, a 5-day workshop, etc. But we are also, we're running posts for the Digital Media Arts program, so if anybody thinks that they would like to come full-time to the university, I'd be very, very happy to talk to you. Okay?